What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day today. I know I am. I'm definitely getting right back to go to school. Going back to school on Tuesday. Got a lot of work to do, a lot of essays, of course. But today I'm going to be doing a Saints vs Vikings takeaway video from the wildcard game. So, if you didn't know, the Saints vs the Vikings, they had a wildcard game earlier on today, where the Vikings beat the Saints in overtime. Now, a lot of people during this game thought that the Saints were going to win. I thought the Saints were going to win as well. And from what it turned out, it did not happen. And this is what I took away from that game. So, first of all, Drew Brees, he's a future Hall of Fame quarterback. He broke Peyton Manning's touchdown record this year. He hurt his hand at the beginning of the season and was out for about 3 to 4 games. Now, Drew Brees' season stats were 27 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Now, that's a pretty good season for a quarterback. Drew Brees is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. But during this game against the Vikings, he threw one pick. And during this one pick that he threw, it just seemed like Drew Brees, he just was having trouble just reading guys because nobody was getting open. And so Drew Brees just kind of lobbed it up for a 40-yard pass, and it was a pick, I believe, by the corner. Now, when Drew Brees, or the play that was being run when Drew Brees threw this pick was a cover 3, and so you had the strong safety come down to where the linebackers were to cover the flats. You had 2 corners covering the deeps from sideline to sideline, and you had a free safety over the top. Well, the Saints wide receiver went across into the middle, and the corner followed to meet up with the free safety, and he was double teamed, and Drew Brees threw a pick. Which is kind of odd to me, because Drew Brees, I know he's a gambler, but it wasn't even that late into the game, and it just kind of seemed like he was just chucking it up there. Now, Drew Brees did get sacked 3 times during this game, and his longest pass was 20 yards. And when you're looking for a quarterback in the playoffs, you don't want him to throw 20 yards. Like that's not what you want his longest throw to be. And unfortunately, Drew Brees was only get 20 yards, which tells me that the Vikings came very prepared to play against the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints, by the offensive line, by the way, is very good. But the fact that they sacked Drew Brees 3 times during this game is pretty impressive. I know for certain that because I play football in high school, but I would never want my quarterback to get sacked 3 times in a playoff game. And the Saints offensive line was good, but it was not good enough to, obviously get them the win. Now, the Vikings running game was very good. They have Dalvin Cook. He's one of the best running backs right now. And he will just run over guys. He's elusive. He's just amazing. And when the Saints came out on every offensive drive, they brought out at least 6 guys on the offensive line, and a tight end or 2. And what they were able to do is they were able to push the Saints defensive line back and allow Dalvin Cook to get holes in order for him to run for 30 to 40-yard gains, and that led Dalvin Cook to, I believe, getting 2 touchdowns. Now, what I don't understand is why the Saints, I don't understand why the Saints, when they saw this type of coverage, because the Vikings did this all day with the offensive line, what I don't understand is why the Saints only rushed with 4 to 3 guys when they did this. They had linebackers back, but they weren't close up to the offensive line in obvious running situations. Also, the Vikings wide receivers, Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, 2 of the best wide receivers in the game, got open quite a bit. Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen are both Pro Bowlers, and it just seemed like the Saints weren't able to really cover them that well, leading them to get multiple catches. Now, I know that Adam Thielen threw or caught a pass, and then he was hit by a Saints defender early on into the game, but I don't really understand how the New Orleans Saints momentum on the defense stopped after that, because Adam Thielen fumbled the ball when he got hit, and the Saints got it back. But after that, there wasn't really much for the Saints defense. They got a couple sacks on Kirk Cousins, but that's about it. Now, another thing, and the last thing that I really saw from the Saints was the fact that the Saints didn't really have a very good running game. They have Kareem Hunt, one of the best runners in the game, and I understand they didn't have the best season this year in terms of getting, in terms of just, fantasy football wise, statistic wise, but he's still one of those guys that will change games when you need him to. And the fact that the Vikings were able to shut them down tells me that the Saints were not very well prepared for this game. And I know that the Saints will be back in the playoffs next year, but I don't know. The Saints just kind of seem one step behind on every single drive, and they definitely need to improve that. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about your opinions, and comment down below. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Don't forget to check my Instagram and Twitter. And let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year. Alright, guys. I'll see you later.